It was just amazing to me, all these bright-eyed, bushy-tailed little kids that were typical readers of famous monsters time and again. Founding of Famous Monsters of Filmland, I had been over in Paris and had picked up a magazine that ordinarily was about all sorts of movies, but had about 100 pages on the Werewolf of London and Frankenstein and Dracula and King Kong. I naturally got a copy for my collection. When I got back to New York, I just kind of casually showed it to a publisher who was looking for what he called a one-shot. Wouldn't have mattered if it had been about Marilyn Monroe or the Beatles or just anything sort of get in and out. And he took one look at that, and he could see it turning the French into English in his mind's eye, and he thought all he had to do was to write over and he could borrow the 100 photos. Well, he found that the stills belonged to half a dozen different Frenchmen who weren't about to part with him. And at that point I spoke up. I said, well, I have 35,000 of these stills out at home in Hollywood, and I've been seeing these movies ever since I was 5 and a half. I think I could put together such a magazine for you. So he shopped it around to the 13 potential distributors of the day, and everyone turned down the idea. I wanted to call it Wonderama. And so it was about to die a-borning when out came I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, and Life magazine did an 8-page feature on the new trend in horror films, of teenage films. And one distributor remembered this madman who'd been around trying to sell him on all these messed up faces, and he said, well, just put monsters on the cover. I don't much care how it's written or anything about it. So the publisher flew out to Hollywood and to see if I really had 35,000 stills, and by the time they'd counted 34,000, he gave up.